Alright, so this is Capricorn to understand Capricorn as a whole, or all the things that make Capricorn Capricorn. So Capricorn is born out of the 10th house. So the 10th house is dealing with long-term goals, it's dealing with structure and status and reputation. Um, yeah, reputation, fame, status, um, long-term goals, careers. That's basically what the 10th house is dealing with. And Capricorn being the 10th zodiac sign out of the 12, it's born out of the 10th house. And I'll go deeper on the houses and other videos and shit. But it being born out of Capricorn and its ruling planet being Saturn, which is the planet of boundaries and restrictions. It's the planet of reality and structure, which makes sense. So Saturn, being the ruling planet and it being born out of the 10th house, um, its focus is on um, bringing its long-term goals into reality, or to establish structure, to be structure oriented, or organization oriented, and reputation oriented. How other people look at you or where you stand on the food chain has extra importance, because that determines your boundaries and restrictions, no, or how far you can stretch, or what how your reality plays out. Because if you don't know the structure, and the layout, the blueprint of how the reality is, of the reality that you're living in, you won't be able to gain structure. So you can look at it, Capricorn has the blueprint. The building before it's built. That's that's Capricorn, or yeah, that's a trait of Capricorn. And um, Mars is exalted here. So for you to bring your reality, for you to be living in reality, or for you to yeah, for you to master reality, or boundaries restrictions, you kind of have to be action oriented. That's why Mars is exalted here, or it makes sense why Mars is exalted here. This is why this is what makes Capricorn Capricorn. So Mars being exalted here, passions, willpower, and determination. That's what can make Capricorns, that give them the roll up the sleeves, let's get it done kind of energy, that dry kind of energy. Because and when a planet is exalted, what that means is that it has the opportunity to get, it's excited when it's in that sign. Just like when you go to a friend's house, or like when you're little, or shit like that, you're in a new space. It's not your home like it is to Saturn, but it's a place where you get a little boost. You get happy when you go there. But fuck, sorry. But you have the chance of overexhausting yourself. Or a planet has a chance of overexhausting itself when it's being exalted. So you can be too aggressive. You can be too action oriented. Or too imposing, too aggressive. Those are problems that Capricorn could run into. And then the moon is opposed here, so it brings special focus to the moon. When a planet is opposed, it doesn't mean that the energy isn't there. It just means that it has to work harder, it has to dip into its bag for it to get the job done. So it brings extra focus into that within your life. So the moon being the planet of emotions and receptibility, it being opposed there, when you're so focused on reality and what's tangible, what's there, you're not really too open on receiving things from the outside, or not being too keen receiving things, and receptibility can be so hard when you're so action oriented, and when you're looking at long term goals and career, when you're looking at status. But then, because it's being opposed, it's gonna bring more attention to the things that you are being receptive to, or the things that are making you emotionally receptive. That's how you can get some Capricorns that run away from energy, or Capricorns that are dry, or Capricorns that run away from those kind of emotions, or doesn't want too much of them. But you would have situations, people, places, and things and situations playing out to bring focus to that within their life because of the opposition. So these are the things that they're going to notice more, the things that make them react, the things that they emotionally respond to. These are the things, how they're going to look at the world. They're probably going to look at everybody as being too emotional, or taking in things that they don't need to take in. That's how the world would look to them through the eyes of Capricorn, because that's the sign that's opposing. That's what's going against them. So that's what's a lot of the focus is being brought to. And Jupiter and Neptune fall within this sign. So Jupiter and Neptune, when a planet's fallen, it doesn't mean that the energy is not there, that it's not present. It just means that it's unaware of itself. It's sleeping. So saying that Jupiter and Neptune fall in Capricorn means that Jupiter, the planet of higher learning and expansion, and opportunity, and spontaneity. You can see, like how I described Capricorn, why that not too much focus would be on that, because you're not really looking towards expanding. And when it's being asleep, when you're falling, and when the planet's asleep, it could be excited, overexcited. It could be just be chilling, or it could be in utter chaos, not working out at all. It's just a lack of focus within those areas. And when you're action oriented, you're not really looking into the deeper meaning of things. You're not really trying to experience. It's not really about the experience. It's about getting it done. It's action orientated. It's not about the process. It's about the result. It's about getting there. Jupiter's all about the process of getting there. Moving forward and shit like that. And Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusions, and imagination. So when you're dealing with Capricorn, when things are about status, reputation, and structure, when things are being built, you there's lack of can be a lack of imagination in that. And just like how I said, it could be fine, it can be overexcited, or it could be in complete chaos. But it's the lack of attention to imagination that really brings focus, or that's really affecting Capricorn. The lack of attention that they have on their own imagination and their dreams and illusions. So, and that kind of leads into the element, it being cardinal Earth. It's an Earth sign, but its modality is cardinal. There are three modalities for an element to be in: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Just like how science, matter can take three shapes and forms. It can be gas, solid, and liquid. So, like how I said, Capricorn's basically the blueprint, right? So cardinal being the gas, it's gas of Earth, being the cardinal of Earth, it's initiating new ways of being practical, initiating new ways of bringing things into density. This is how you would get Capricorns would be leaders a lot of the time, but instead of them being um, um, like the leader that does everything themselves, they would you would often see them you know, moving people around or understanding how people, the roles people play, and situating them around. That's the kind of leadership you'll see Capricorns get into, and there being positive and negatives to that. But for you to understand Earth, so you have the right brain and the left brain. Your right brain's your intuition, creativity, intuitiveness, feelings and emotions, and expression. And your left brain would be uh, analytical. You know, it would be you're dissecting the analysis side of your brain, the number scrunching, and shit like that. That side of your brain would be your left brain, and that's where Earth will fall into. But it would be the yin side of it. So you're going internal with what's practical. So you're going internal, and look at Mars being exalted here. So if you're going internal with being practical, you want um you want certain things to come to reality, basically, or you work, or you're focusing on bringing actualizing these internal things that you see in the world, or that you want out of the world, the reality that you want, because it's ruling planet being Saturn, right? So you this is how you get or where the example of Capricorns being the blueprint of what's practical, and trying to bring that out in the world, being super action based and dry, and lack of emotion. And that doesn't mean that they have no emotions, depending on other alignments that they have within their chart, or where all the other planets are that can affect how a person acts or reacts to things. And the moon being opposed to here, that's why they will look at other people, why as being overly sensitive or taking things to heart too much, and why they would come across as dry or unemotional, or why they're able to tell someone to do it, why they want to stand from a spot, because they're not standing from a spot where they're going to let emotions get in the way of what's practical, not let emotions get in the way of the job getting done, rolling up the sleeves and being able to get it done, so there's positive and negatives to the energy. But this is but that's Capricorn in a nutshell, or the things that make up Capricorn in a nutshell.